exactly what we want. You're in the deepest part of the show now. There are two aspects to the end of the show. This is the way the show ends. I go on Google and I type my name and poetry, and then I read a couple of short poems. Then, to conclude, we welcome, as we often do at the end of our shows, the Tabernacle of Hedonism choir. The choir can be 20 people sometimes. Sometimes it can be one person. Our choir happens to be Native American Indian, and he brings that to anything that he does. And so, for those who stay into the midnight hours, you get to hear shitty poetry by me, and you get to feel some deep, deep spiritual regret and hope, which is what you should feel if you live in this country. You should feel regret and you should feel hope. Those are the two things you should feel. That is the religious message that I am imparting to you tonight. If you live in regret and hope, you're going to be all right. You can do something with those things. Those things can propel you. That's like fuel. They're antagonistic towards each other. They generate thought. They generate feelings. They generate energy. Regret. I'm sorry I did that. But hope, what can I do different? Just gave you the fucking message of the show.
Crystal Waters sang that. You gotta live in regret and hope.
Nice.
So I'm typing Tom Miller poetry into the Google search engine. You can join me with this. And then I have discovered Tom Miller's secret site, Prose and Poetry.
You didn't discover it.
Clicking on that. And then I'm clicking on, click here to read Tom Miller Prose and Poems. I'm clicking on that. Then I'm going to read 2 poems. And then we're going to welcome the Tabernacle of Hedonism choir.
You dropped yourself a piece of paper.
Okay.
It's always had a choir. They just don't come up very often.
Yeah.
Here we go. Does everybody have a drink?
No. Sort of.
Sort of,
Michael
kinda.
needs
Tom,
a drink.
Yes.
Michael needs a drink.
Hey, where'd Spaghetti go?
He's gone.
Are you telling us we need to be drunk to understand the poem?
No.
Could it hurt though? Shot glasses.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt. All right, I've now made a decision. And what I've decided is I was going to read 2 short poems. I'm just going to read one long one. And then we will welcome to the stage the Tabernacle Choir. So this is a religious poem. All right. You have to listen very carefully. Are you ready?
Yes.
Religion explained for idiots. 1. In the beginning, a lady pulled up beside me in her red Toyota, rolled down the window, and said, "She's a dingbat! She's a dingbat!"
Okay.
That's how my day began. I reflected on the idea that in millions of years of evolution, it had all come to this. I hate knowing everything that matters. Number 2, revelations. What happened since I quit drinking?
Nothing.
I was 11 days in. I could no longer walk straight. My vision began to blur. I no longer got laid. As for the poems, they stopped talking to me and went off on their own to the bar. Disappointed in my lack of commitment and horror, I realized I was happy and healthy, with plenty of money and time, succeeding in life. The apocalypse had finally arrived. Number 3, the heavens and the earth. Mixed up nerd Fred Wars star death. Down street, the Fred backward walked supermarket into bananas, checking if, was he yellow? Looking for not green but yellow, not two only in 4 days, bananas black. He did not so soon after want fucked ass turning brown in the then Yoda died, he did. Next year after, J.J. Abrams episode star directed 7 Wars. Good acting, everything ruined, laughing to the mouse bank, raped all the way.
Jesus God.
4, stoned.
Okay, I get that.
Big bear. Big bear angry. No fish. Little girl at zoo. Throw rock. Ha ha, funny bear. Fuck this bitch. Little girl. Lean in for a closer look. Oopsie! Mother scream. Throws rock. Bear okay with it. Move a little closer. Rocket face. No problem. Little girl unconscious. Rock hits head. Bear feels slight tickle. Moves closer. Takes his time. Screaming everywhere. Bear stops to yawn and stretch. Zookeepers throw fish. No distraction. Little girl. Looks like a bowl of cream and honey. Nice and easy now. Closer, closer. Rock hits paw. Pff. Who gives a shit? Mouth open. Teeth bared. Rock hits butt. As little girl head pops like a coconut. Bear licks little girl's brain. Bear can taste her dreams. By the time zookeepers fire the bullets, bear could care less. Anger gives way to satisfaction and sweet death. Zoo closes bear exhibit for 2 weeks. Then freak hurricane destroys zoo. Animals running wild. Number 5. Noah's bark.
Who's so clever?
Not Noah's ark, but Noah's bark.
Oh wow.
Got it.
So proud.
Quick, hide in here, points to boat. Sails out to one of Estonia's islands. Noah is nowhere to be found. What are the giraffes smiling about? Nuclear bomb goes off. Mold survives and mutates to become intelligent new inhabitants of planet Earth. They set up a cheese zoo. The American escapes and goes to war with the French. The Swiss don't help. The brie lays low and creamy. Old television shows of the 70s fuck each other in the ass, turn into a pillar of saltines, and the snacks retain their innocence until they give birth to Justin Bieber's butthole.
Ew.
What?
Beautiful.
Nice butthole.
6.
That thing's probably tore up.
It's a brie loose cream.
The 7th coming. We waited for the second coming for quite some time, and when Jesus finally showed up, he was disguised as a typewriter. Old school Latera 32. Nobody knew what it was in reality. This was the seventh coming. He had been back before, once as a banana, turned black. Told you Jesus was black, but nobody listened to me. Once as a mosquito. That lasted about 3 seconds on somebody's arm. Drink the blood, eat the flesh. Next thing you know, smackdown. 3 was Jesus doing his best imitation of Ronald Reagan. But he was not very good at it, as we have since discovered after AIDS. 4's the charm, so they say. So, okay, nobody says that. He came back. Round 4, nobody knew what it was. What is that? No idea. Let's ignore it. 5, a Cheeto. They put him in a casino. God got $254,500 on eBay from a Spanish woman out of Miami who used the money to hire a gunman to kill her husband so she could get the life insurance. When the gunman drew the weapon, it misfired into his nutsack. She's in jail. Some drunk guy ate the Cheeto, and there went that one. Hey, give the guy a break. The drinks are free in the casino. He didn't know it was a Cheeto. He thought it was Jesus. Turns out it was Cheeto Jesus. One and the same. That's what $254,500 gets you these days. Resurrection number 6 was the one we all read about in the big book. Short story, the ending leaves you hanging.
Oh, God.
But in that one, he was like 3 completely different things. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And they were all somehow the same thing. By the time you get to rebound number 6, you begin to think something is going very wrong with the poetry. And so here we are. Jesus is a typewriter, old school, Latera 32. Same model that Carmick McCarthy used to write No Country for Old Men. Carmick sold it at auction for $254,500. Then he went down to the pawn shop and he found a Latera 32, same model and style, for about $20 with a new ribbon. Worked better than the one he sold for all that money. And what you have just heard is what it might have written if I had been writing it. You should understand now what religion is all about.
Still lost.
Very nice, Thomas. Oh, wow.